as further evidence that Obama and Odinga were coordinating to implement the campaign strategy outlined in the Nyong'o document. The ex-ODM sources in Kenya argue that Obama maintained almost daily cell phone contact with Odinga as the post-election tribal violence and terrorism was unfolding in Kenya. Even as Obama was campaigning in the final days of the New Hampshire Democratic Presidential Party primary, as has been reported by the BBC. The ex-ODM sources said Obama worked after the election with former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan and U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice to argue a position should be created to allow Odinga to share head of state as a compromise to end the violence, which is extortion and terrorism, treason. The ex-ODM sources said during the post-election violence, Obama did not call on Odinga to drop his charges of voter fraud or to withdraw completely from his efforts to become head of state, as a strategy to calm his Luo tribe followers and bring a halt to the violence. WorldNet Daily confirmed in Kenya that at one point Annan and Condoleezza Rice actually pressured Kenyan Vice President Kalonzo to step down from his position to bring the Luo mob protest violence to an end by appointing Odinga vice president so he could assume the nation's second highest office, even though he wasn't elected, even though he lost the election. Just kick out a democratically elected person and make Obama's communist cousin the vice president. When Kalonzo refused to step down, Annan and Rice proposed the Odinga-inspired plan to appoint him as prime minister, effectively allowing Odinga to share the head of state position with Kibaki, a situation that was adopted. That's an oxymoron to have a prime minister and a president. Imagine if McCain loses the presidency to Obama and McCain says, I demand to be vice president, and Biden has to step down and McCain becomes vice president. Or if Obama wins the presidency, Palin says, I'm going to terrorize the United States with terrorist attacks unless you make me vice president with Obama. So it'll be President Obama, Vice President Palin. That's what they were doing. Or Prime Minister Palin. This is detailed in Jerome Corsi's book, The Abomination, on the New York Times bestseller list. WorldNet Daily also reported on the authenticity of Odinga campaign internal finance memorandum, documenting that Obama arranged for Odinga to receive in his U.S. trips nearly $1 million in presidential campaign contributions from Obama fundraisers and donors to assist Odinga in his 2007 presidential campaign in Africa. So if you donated any money to Obama's campaign, you financed a communist terrorist takeover of the British nation of Kenya, and you finance burning down 800 Christian churches and overthrowing a democratic government. That's what you get with Obama's campaign contributions. The finance memo prepared by Shakil Shabir, the head of Odinga's campaign finance accounting section, also detailed that among the 72 individuals and organizations that contributed money to Odinga in Kenya was Saif el-Islam Gaddafi, the second oldest son of Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi, who also was listed as contributed nearly $1 million to Odinga's campaign. The Shabir document lists the Obama-generated campaign contributions from the U.S. as having been donated by friends of Senator Barack Obama. Obama's campaign Fight the Smears website and a posting by Ben Smith at Politico have questioned the authenticity of the Obama-Odinga emails, but they don't provide any evidence. Moreover, neither the Fight the Smears nor the Smith posting disputed the substantive point made in the emails that Lippert served to coordinate between Obama and Odinga, while Lippert worked for Obama's U.S. Senate office in Washington. WorldNet Daily was unable to get a response from Obama with calls to his Washington office and Chicago campaign headquarters. You can read this article at piratenews-tv.blogspot.whatever. Hussein Obama is a citizen of Kenya. His granny brags that he was born in Kenya. This is admitted as true by Obama and the DNC at federal court last week. www.obamacrimes.whatever. You can read the lawsuit at piratenews.org. You can read the full lawsuit at piratenews.org. Here's a photo of Barack Hussein Obama Sotoro's National Security Advisor, Polish-born Jew Zbigniew Brzezinski, visiting his boy Osama bin Laden in training with the Pakistan Army, published in Village Voice in 1981. Photo by Sigma Corbis Agency in Paris. So Obama's National Security Advisor, the co-president, Jew Zbigniew Brzezinski, born in Poland, is actually the founder of Al Qaeda, which is the database of CIA employees. In the Arabic language, it means toilet. So obviously they didn't pick the name. It's a CIA name, meaning the computer database in Langley, Virginia. That's what Al Qaeda means, is the CIA database of CIA employees, of which Obama was a CIA employee. Bombers for Obama. This is Professor Bill Ayers, who wrote Obama's official biography, who got donations and grants from Obama at Annenberg Foundation. Quote, "I don't regret setting bombs. I feel we didn't do enough bombs. Kill all the rich people. Break up their cars and apartments. Bring the revolution home. Kill your parents. That's where it's really at. Everything was absolutely ideal on the day I bombed the Pentagon." End quote. That's Professor Bill Ayers, weatherman bomber, confessed to a dozen bombings of government buildings, never prosecuted because he's a CIA FBI agent, doing false flag terrorism to blame their political enemies, foreign and domestic. The Obama presidential campaign logo is the Weatherman Bomber logo, based on that. Professor Bill Ayers murdered two of his female bombers in his own house, busted CIA agent Timothy Leary out of prison, who was brainwashing the youth, the sheeple, to buy LSD from the CIA to drop out of the battle to overthrow the United States, the Civil War to overthrow the United States, the revolution by the Marxist Trotskyites, neocons, Jewish Democrats, so-called liberals. Here's the National Enquirer, October 13, 2008, Obama sex perv scandal. It's got a picture of Obama naked with his man pussy on the cover of the book, published in 1960s, named Black Sex Rebel, or Sex Rebel Black, written by Obama's friend Frank Marshall Davis, who apparently raped Obama as a pedophile. The book is about homosexuality, pedophilia, sadomasochism, and rape. Here's a quote from Barack Hussein Obama Sotoro's autobiography, Dreams of My Father, written by terrorist bomber Bill Ayers. Quote, "Frank would read his poetry when we stopped by his house, sharing whiskey with Gramps out of an empty jelly jar. As the night wore on, the two of them would solicit my help in composing dirty limericks." End quote. Obama likes hot, sweaty man sex, published in various newspapers in the United States. Larry Sinclair is Obama's gay lover who smokes crack with him, who Joe Biden's son had arrested at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. when Larry Sinclair was giving a press conference. Never been done in the history of the National Press Club that somebody would be arrested while they were giving a press conference. Charges were dismissed because they were false charges. Another one of Obama's gay lovers was murdered on Christmas Eve in Chicago, 2007, from the Reverend Wright Church. He was the organ player.
Your enemy is not surrounding your country. Your enemy is ruling your country.